What do you know about mental health? You might have an idea because you know the meaning of the word mental and health separately, but when it comes together, it's a whole different topic. It is important for you to understand what exactly mental health is, because from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, there are a lot of decisions involved, a lot of processes that require you to be of good and proper mental health. But why is it that so many people are of poor mental health? Why is it that the end result of poor mental health is suicide? Recently, we lost a student at Strathmore University to suicide. And it began from poor mental health, which is why today this is our topic. My name is Barbara Maush. Welcome to the session. So to begin with, we encounter problems throughout our lives. In fact, problems are a part of life. And I can't think of anyone's life without a problem. It is how we solve problems in our lives that enable us to become successful and achieve our dreams and to even move on with life. So many people don't know how to solve their problems, let alone handle them or even receive them calmly and of sound mind. Actually, the first step, the first stage that comes with a problem is denial. This is whereby we ask ourselves, how did this happen? This is why you hear so many people talking about how unbelievable the problem is. We spend so much time looking for reasons why, or rather how it happened. What caused this? How did it happen? What we don't know is this time has been used and it has been wasted. And it is just time that has been prolonged to get to acceptance. Because the moment we accept this problem, the quicker we get to the solution. And in fact, so many people dwell on denial so much that it becomes anger. That is the second stage. This is where you ask yourself, why did this happen? Why me? Why now? But what you don't know is you're getting angry at the person who caused the problem. If you're the person who caused the problem, you're getting angry at yourself. But in the long run, this is not how we deal with a problem. It is basically a blame game within yourself or within another person or with another person. Sadly, not many people realize that. Not many people get done with the problem, solve it at this stage. And that is when we progress to stage 3, depression. It's a deep topic. It is wide, it is huge, and it happens when people, especially Kenyans, hear about depression. They take it lightly. People don't understand the weight of depression. When we get to depression, our confidence is torn down, our self-worth is no more, our self-esteem destroyed. So who are you without your self-worth, your self-esteem, your confidence? What can you do? And if you can realize this, it is all mental. It goes on inside the mind, which is not really easy for other people to notice unless the person going through depression opens up. Which brings me to the next question. How many times does a person approach you and tells you they're going through depression? Not many. In fact, we find out that these people have been going through depression once we lose them to suicide. And it's too late at this stage. It is very sad to lose a person through suicide. Why? Because life is given to you, and you're not supposed to take away your own life. There are so many causes of depression, but I'm just going to mention a few. One of them is lack of resources, especially money, to buy basic needs such as food, to pay your school fees. When we lack such, it weighs us down. It drives us into a bad state of mind, because what can you do without money nowadays? Not much. The second reason might be peer pressure. Constantly comparing yourselves to other people, and I'm not just talking about the youth at this point. It starts way back unconsciously from a young age. You go to preschool, as a child, you see your friend with a bag, you want that bag. You move on to primary school, the same. Your friends join a certain club or sport, you want to be a part of it because it's the in thing. Peer pressure, you join, it's okay. High school, the same. University, you don't want to be left out. And even in adulthood, I mean, how many times does your mom or dad, well, let me say mom, tells you, hizi vyombo ni za wageni. These dishes are for the guests. So they have to be kept well, to their utmost best, so that when the guests come, they can be presentable. Why? What people think about you matters to you, and it's normal. But the problem comes in when we overthink this, and it gets into our minds and controls us, because we will always be thinking about, what are they thinking about me? What are they thinking about me? It is a positive and negative thought that you have in your mind. You will do what is expected of you, but in the long run, it progresses and becomes an obsession. You always want to please people, and that is not right. Anyway, these are just but a few that I can mention for now. And the moment you destroy your mental capacity, then that's it. You're done. But then again, there's always hope. There is no problem on earth. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're suffering from, there is nothing that, there is always something that you can do about it. There is always someone you can go to talk to. There's always someone you can confide in, you can look for advice to. Even though you're not looking for advice, you can always open up to someone to feel better, because a problem shared is a problem half solved. We need to remember that the mirror in our minds reflects our past, not our worst. It is important to know that the past is gone and the present is here with us. That is what matters. So whatever you did in the past does not define you. It only strengthens you and enlightens you to become better in the future, and it teaches you a lot. It is important to learn from your mistakes and not dwell on them. So I'm just going to quickly move on to the second part of the session, and that is ways of dealing with a problem. I will start with forgiveness. That is the first way. And it is ironic that it is the easiest yet the hardest way. Why? Through forgiveness, you must let go. And when I say let go, it sounds easy. I mean, I can just wake up and let it go. But how easy is letting it go? Is letting go, rather. Many other times you hear people are hostile with each other for many years, carrying around grudges that are unnecessary. And the moment you carry around a grudge, it binds you. it's like a chain around you. It limits you to your potential. You must know that you can't be happy while having a grudge on someone. You have to be at peace with yourself as well as at peace with other people. And you will find that that is a happy life. I don't know what might have caused that grudge, but it has to be forgivable. So what we need to do as people, we need to practice coming to terms with whatever happened to us in the past, either caused by us or caused by the people, and forgive these people. And more importantly, forgive yourself. Blaming yourself for things you did in the past is not a solution, not a go-to. And the more you blame yourself, the more you feel bad about yourself, the more your self-worth is destroyed, the more your confidence goes down, and the cycle is evident. Depression comes in, suicide comes in. So forgiveness is key. We can also talk about collaboration. The moment you disagree, this is when there are two parties that have disagreed, and you can come together and work towards a common goal. Anyway, it depends on the problem that you're currently facing. My point is, it doesn't have to be a permanently bad situation. There is always light at the end of the tunnel. Lastly, I just want to mention a few points under importances of mental health. Why I think this is helpful to you. It's because, number one, especially in our country, the suicide cases are going up. You might not know someone, but it happens. People take their lives each and every day, and it's a burden to the people you leave behind. The people you leave behind will always ask themselves what they could have done differently to save you, what they could have done to prevent you from taking your own life. You leave behind such a pain, because according to me, suicide is one death that can actually be prevented compared to other deaths, such as road accidents, such as even murder. We can say, they didn't know they were going to die. It's just unfortunate. Maybe that day came. But the moment you take your own life, it isn't right. Well, enough of that. The second one is mental health is not a poor mental health rather, isn't something physical. It isn't something you can see. When someone has a mental illness, and I'm not talking about the people who are mentally retarded, it's a normal person going through problems, feeling that they're weighing them down, and it destroys their mental capacity. Now that is part of mental illness. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you're having issues solving your own problems. So, it's not physical. Therefore, it is not easy to notice. Not when I can cut myself with a knife accidentally and rush to the hospital, get treatment, medicine, I'm healed, done, dusted. This is different. First of all, it grows over time, such that not even you may know you're going into something deep, something as bad as depression. So the more we talk about it, the more we listen to such sessions and such talks, we are able to analyze ourselves, we're able to know where we are at, and prevent depression at large. Well, number 3, it increases self-esteem and inner peace. And that is kind of intertwined with number 2, in that the moment we are aware of the importance of mental health and what really goes on in our lives, in our minds, even from another perspective, it may enable us, it may enlighten us, then I believe you'll be more peaceful with yourself. And even your self-esteem will go up. Why? Because you are aware. Your self-awareness has increased. And you can notice such things happening and prevent them from happening to you and people close to you. So, in conclusion, I believe that having confidence in yourself can consequently prevent suicide, which is the end result of poor mental health. Being confident in what you believe in and what you trust, and standing by your principles is important, because then you will not have the time to dwell on matters that weigh you down. You will always find a solution, find a way to make yourself better, to promote your mental health, to build yourself into what you want to become in the future. In the next session, we are going to be dealing with depression and suicide on their own. This is because it's a whole other area that we need to understand deeply and we need to discuss in order to prevent it from happening to ourselves, to you, and to people around us. Remember, the mirror in our minds reflects our past and not our worst. I am Maush, and thank you for watching.